we're once again getting some more nonsense coming out from Marvel Comics because they insist on being just as bad as DC Comics. Rather than putting out entertaining information that people are going to like about comics that get your fans interested. No, let's once again have another character coming out of the closet, and this time it's GwenPool, and she's coming out as asexual. Yeah, because that's what's most important, not anything good. No, this. This whole. Before I even get into that, GwenPool is not an actual character to speak, if I could put it that way. She's not an actual character. GwenPool is like a joke character. She's another multiverse variant of Gwen Stacy, but she's like Gwen Stacy but as Deadpool, so they call her GwenPool. Wow, really have to think hard on that one, Marvel. But she has popped up here and there. But I didn't even know that she had an ongoing series at the moment. I was like, this is really a thing, but that's what's happening. Let's get into this article here from CBR, who loves to cover this nonsense. Marvel's GwenPool just came out as asexual. Keep in mind, last year, DC had Connor Hawk come out as asexual. Because, showcasing all these characters' sexuality is much more important than them actually being good. Yeah, that was happening. GwenPool comes out as asexual in Marvel's Love Unlimited Infinity comic number 47 by Jeremy Whitley, Bailey Rosenlund, and Kelly Fitzpatrick. Right. Love Unlimited Infinity comic number 47 comes from writer Jeremy Whitley and all the other. Yeah, one of any other. The issue, which is the 5th part of a 6-issue storyline. I didn't even know it had. I honestly didn't even know this was going on. That's just how much I didn't care. That began in Love Unlimited Infinity comic number 43. Sees GwenPool trying to figure out her love life after she's become close with Julie Power Lightspeed. At one point, Gwen realizes a romantic relationship might not be what she's looking for, and with some help and support from Julie, comes out as asexual. I really like you, she said, and I want to make you happy. Right? She says that here. I really like you and I want to make you happy, but I can't make myself want something that I don't want, and I don't want to lie to you about wanting it. It's like this is all comics have become about. Who is coming out of the closet this week? What sexuality this person is swapping, this was sexuality. That's all that they do. That's all that it is about. GwenPool is not an interesting character. Nobody really cares too much about GwenPool. People may have given it a look willingness to see, well, okay, this version of Deadpool, alright, that's it. But you've done nothing with this character to make this character enjoyable. And the big news that you're putting out now is that GwenPool is coming out as asexual. How and why you think this would matter to anybody is beyond me. But that's what you're doing. Now, writer Whitley Rosen she said that in a recent interview when discussing with GwenPool and all this. This is what he thought he had to say. I think especially with queer characters, there's this tendency to put relationships up on a pedestal. Once you found the person you care about, you do whatever you have to do to preserve that romantic relationship. While it's an understandable impulse, it's ultimately an unhealthy one. Denying what you actually want and need is poisonous to any relationship. Julie is a character who has had to find her own path, and it has been a winding one, from Power Pack to Avengers Academy to Runaways to Future Foundation. Julie had a lot of loss and a few painful breakups. She realizes now the importance of asking for what you need And ultimately, recognizing the things you want and don't want in a relationship is extremely important. For Gwen, that relationship doesn't include sex. For Julie, it absolutely does. Nobody should be made to feel bad about what they need. It's okay to value your own happiness above continuing to feed a relationship that's not fulfilling you. Now, everything that is said here is basically pretty much summing up the death of comic book and the comic book industry. Now, it starts off, the first part it starts off here actually sounds correct, and I agree with it. I think especially with queer characters, there's this tendency to put relationships up on a pedestal. I completely agree with that. The problem is that these so-called queer relationships with these queer characters must never have any problems. They must always be perfect, and that doesn't work. When Batwoman and Renee Montoya broke up, when Batwoman and Renee Montoya broke up in the comics, there was a lot of outrage online because they were like, oh, why should they break them up and everything? But you have to still understand that their relationships are like everybody else's relationships. Queer relationships are like straight relationships. People break up and get back together all the time. But usually they don't seem to the thing that, I mean, even if you look at, and let's say Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, right? I mean, in the comics now, it just become kind of stupid, but in regards to, let's say, the animated series, Harley Quinn animated series, the showrunners were actually getting death threats from people saying that, you know, they dare not break up Harley and Ivy. These people are not interested in actual stories. They just want to ship their characters together and then come out and attack you online when you don't subscribe to what they want. But as he continues on in this whole thing, he goes on about romantic relationships and how this one felt and how this one is important about sex, and this one doesn't want to look at it. None of this in any way has anything to do with GwenPool as an actual character. You're trying to milk this whole thing about her coming out as asexual and it's some big thing. Nobody cares. It's not bringing in readers. You know what wouldn't bring in readers? If it is this Julie woman had said to GwenPool, okay, Gwen, you know, I really like you, let's be in a relationship, and Gwen to the wrong and say, you know, okay, thanks, but sorry, I'm not gay, and that would have actually intrigued people. But you don't do that anymore, because anytime somebody comes out and says, listen, I'm a woman, you're a woman, let's get together, wow, we must jump in it. Same thing with male characters. There's no wow factor anymore. It's let's just keep shipping these characters together, hooking them up, and on with it. And now you want to say that, you know, okay, Gwen doesn't want this because she's asexual. So that's a big thing that you now need to market to everybody. No, it isn't. It isn't. Like I said, Connor Hawke came out as asexual last year. Nobody gave a damn. The same way nobody's going to give a damn about this. You're doing nothing with these characters. Literally nothing with these characters. Connor Hawke, interesting character that they just left by the wayside to rot. Same thing here with GwenPool. They go on about GwenPool first appeared as a hybrid Deadpool Gwen Stacy character on a variant cover created by Chris Bachalo for 2015 Deadpool Secret Wars. She then made her first full appearance in 2015 Howard the Duck #1. Marvel removed any GwenPool direct ties to Deadpool and Gwen Stacy, and instead introduced her as a new character, Gwendolyn Poole, who inherently lives in a separate universe before coming to Earth 616. Yes, and like I said, she's another multiverse variant. But you're trying to tell me the big news that you have to put out about GwenPool is that, you know, she's come out as asexual. Not that this character is interesting or doing anything with it, because nobody cares. But this is what you're putting out there. This is why the comic book industry is just dying, because you are just bankrupt of ideas and just putting out garbage. That's it. Let's just keep pushing sexuality while it turns off all our fans. We know your thoughts on this in the comments. Have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. Then like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.